What up, everybody? You're now tuned into the true definition of a sports fanatic. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley, back today with another live stream, man. We needed this today. I needed this outlet today. We needed to come to the barbershop, have this talk about the Super Bowl. Okay. I see you. You know, I try to keep mine nice and cut up. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it nice and yeah. I was looking like
30 years ago, I had mouth broke. I had to go to the barber. I don't need to go no more though.
now, this is the question, Mr. Reid. Yeah. Did you wear a Jerry curl? I just need to know that.
No, bro. I didn't wear no Jerry curl. I had an afro. I didn't wear no Jerry. My mama didn't like getting that juice on the back of her sofa.
Right.
That's why she put plastic on her sofa, man. We couldn't have that whatever that Afro Sheen spray, and you do all that, man.
Hey, what they say, Soul Glow from
Soul
Glow. Yeah, coming to America.
Yeah.
Soul Glow.
Well, Miss Reid didn't have that in her house. But I had a pick and a rake back in the day.
A pick and a rake.
Pick and a rake, man. You don't even know if they make them no more. I had I'm losing my speech. Uh-huh. I had a pick that had a black fist on the top of it.
Oh yeah, I got one. Yeah, I got a couple of them.
7th grade going to Ocean Way, and used to have this crazy teacher, a gym teacher named Mr. Dugan, used to take the pick out your head, man. I still hate that dude.
What up, Robin Brooks? What up, Josh Stewart? I got your message, Josh Stewart. I said, Josh Stewart waiting. Well, I said, we got to go live, man. Josh Stewart waiting. For sure. Hey, but y'all see the topics today. Mr. Reid, how you feeling today? What we got going on today, sir?
Well, I feel better that I think they got a coaching staff that I think that's comparable.
Yeah.
I think they got a coaching staff that's qualified. I did, from the 3 that we spoke to today. I mean, I think the franchise might be in much better shape than what it was 3-4 months ago. I will say that. The plan is in place. But man, it's Friday. It's been a long week. And it's gonna be a long one next week. So
yeah.
Hey man, all you can do is hope and pray.
For sure. That's all you got. For sure, man. So we'll start out with talking about this Super Bowl. And just I thought overall this whole postseason, it capped off a great postseason for the NFL. One of the better postseasons I've seen ever. I don't ever remember a postseason like this where all the games came down to the wire. The margin for error was very slim in just about every game, especially the further along it went. I mean, just excellent. One of the only things, though, what was initially when I saw it, I was like, I don't know how to feel about that. But as time went on, I was like, you know what? They shouldn't do that no more. That was corny. Why was The Rock on the field before the game talking about the two teams?
I don't know, but I'll say this, man. NFL, I'll just say this directly to the NFL. Don't be wrestling, man. We don't need introductions and guys. I mean, we don't need that. The game serves itself. It don't need MC and we ready to rumble and all that kind of stuff. Let that leave that to the wrestling or whatever the other. What is it, MIA or whatever? Just leave that to that.
Yeah.
Kick the ball. That's the only complaint I got about the NFL. Don't make the show. Don't have to create the show. Just let the show be the show. You don't need no MC. Now I love the halftime show. It's probably one of the best halftime shows I ever seen. But you don't have to. You don't have to make it into a show like a creative show.
Yeah.
Let the game be the show. That's all I have to say. I love halftime shows. That's enough show that we need.
Yeah.
Having Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and
Mary J was gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Even 50 Cent. Even 50 Cent on the
dog. They say 50 Cent out there was looking like a full dollar out there.
Yeah, we all ain't got old and then picked up a few pounds, but
right.
But let them be the entertainers. You know, we don't want to have this guy. I mean, this guy is supposed to be basically on a movie set or in a wrestling ring. You know,
right?
Not get ready to rumble and
Dude, when I saw him
on the mic. I mean, that's the only thing I didn't like about the Super Bowl was that.
Yeah, that's the only thing. When I saw him with those pumped up muscles, which I was talking to my trainer today, and I said that can't be real. He's like, nah, they've admitted that, he juice or whatever. But I'm like, yo, he's too big. Yo, your football career is over. Yeah, Sapp came in and told you wasn't gonna play another down as a starter and all of that. Yeah, that stuff happened. Football didn't go the way you wanted to go. But to have him come on the field before the Super Bowl live and introduce both teams basically. No, I said, and I told my mom, I said, that's something that you do a video. Like I've seen him in the past do videos, especially for college football, and they were done very well. Very, very good. He's a great storyteller. Mm-hmm. But in the live on the field before the game, no, I don't want to see that from The Rock.
Well, believe it or not, NFL Network on the Saturday before the Super Bowl posted a picture of him practicing with that mic in his hand the day before the Super Bowl.
Really?
And they posted a picture and wrote like a couple of just graphs of a story that this is how you work for the Super Bowl. Yep, they did. NFL.com. Yes, they did. I said, Lord, man, I want to get back to the Super. Give me just the Super Bowls. I want the talent that you see now, but I just want the Super Bowls of the past. Just I want to hear Kurt Gowdy and give me the stadium atmospheres, the fans sitting in the stands, the team coming out on the field. You can even have the smoke coming up. Just give me football, man. Don't give me wrestling. Don't give me a movie intro. Just give me the game.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Just some of the things is nice. I mean, I love the fact that how the game is being played today and the offensive scoring, and you got guys like Aaron Donald who could fight through triple teams and make sacks. I love to see that. I have no problems with that. But I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, that was the low light of the Super Bowl. And the highlight of the Super Bowl. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that then you hear the pregame show, which has always been the case. They talk the Super Bowl for like 8-9 hours. You getting ready for the Super Bowl 9 hours, and all of a sudden the Super Bowl about to start. You have this guy. I mean, I've said enough about him.
Yeah.
But I think people get my point. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Shoot, that was the low light of the Super Bowl, but the highlight of the Super Bowl might not have been the game. It may have been the halftime show. The halftime show was excellent. I think them picking Dr. Dre, the way he coordinated from the set to how they coordinated all of the artists, seeing that Eminem sacrificed some of his time in order for 50 Cent to come in, because 50 Cent was originally not a part of it. So Eminem brought 50 Cent along. And it's funny. It's a video of the game, the rapper, the game, watching the Super Bowl from his home and out in California. And I think he addressed the crowd and talking about, he's like, no, I couldn't. I'm here with y'all, so I didn't want to be there or whatever. But it sounded like sour grapes because he burnt bridges with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent. He got upset with Dr. Dre because he didn't go against 50 Cent. 50 Cent is a clown, so he doesn't care. But just to see that Snoop Dogg, one thing I will say that's most encouraging to me, seeing a 50-year-old man up there kill it. I'm just saying, I'm going to be 50 one day, and I hope to kill it just like that. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, I know he's pushing 50. 50 Cent is close to it. I know he's in his mid 40s, late 40s. But to see older men win, I love to see that.
Well, man, I can't. Hell, I'm part of the group.
Yeah, there you go. See, there you go. I'm trying to get there,
All I want to say is, hey, I remember Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg 20 years ago, man, when they wasn't in their 50s, and they sounded about the same, and they gave one hell of a show like they did 20 years ago. Hey, Hey, that's a hand clap for me. They sounded the same and they performed the same. Now he done got a little heavier, but hey man, we all get heavier in our 50s. But I like the show, man. The show was excellent.
Yeah. Excellent show, man. So getting into this game now, Cooper Kupp won MVP, and I said last week I think Aaron Donald's going to win MVP. He's going to get a couple of sacks, and I still think that he should have won MVP. Although when they had nothing else, Odell Beckham is down. You're getting nothing from Van Jefferson. You can't depend on the other the young receivers. What was the tight end? It was a tight end. Their third tight end came in and played a great game. He had like 60 or 70 yards, had a bunch of catches. And besides them going to Cooper Kupp, another thing, once Odell went out, they started going to Darrell Henderson outside, matched up on linebackers. And he was killing them. They couldn't hit all of them, but he was killing them. That helped change the game as well. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati caught some breaks. I know, especially early. That 75-yard touchdown against Jalen Ramsey shouldn't have counted. But I do give them credit. They were in the game late until the end. But once Aaron Donald got pissed off, once I forgot the lineman's name, but he's from LSU. And that's why he went after Aaron Donald, because Joe Burrow's his guy, and I get it and all of that. But that was a legal tackle. He didn't hit Joe Burrow late out of bounds. You come over, you start some stuff, and you hit Aaron Donald in the face mask. And it was on after that. There wasn't a person on the planet that could have stood in front of Aaron Donald and stopped him from getting to Joe Burrow. The entire city of Cincinnati could have been in front of him, and he would have steamrolled him.
But man, I'd just like to give a shout out to Eric Henderson. He's the defensive line coach for the Rams. I'm old. I covered the kid when he was in high school in New Orleans. But I mean, he was a dog in high school, and he got them guys playing like a dog, and that's what Aaron Donald was.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I like to see things shape up as you predict them. You know, we talking on your show, and that's exactly what we said. We said that we didn't think the Bengals offensive line could handle their defensive front. And in the end of the game, I mean, when you look at what won, that basically won. And that's why Aaron Donald should have been the MVP. I don't think you give the MVP award. I mean, even though Cooper Kupp caught a touchdown that basically won the game, if you want to say that. But he only had like 58 yards of catching, receiving yardage. And I mean, I say this all the time, man. I think that Aaron Donald does more. Sometimes it seems like he does more that don't go recognized, because he's in the trenches and he's covered up, and the camera don't stay on a guy trying to get through blocks and different things. But man, you have to appreciate the guy's strength, man, as he's one of the few guys that can throw a 350-pound offensive guard center, and he can throw it with one hand on the ground as he gets to the quarterback. And it's just like his talent. And that's the thing about this game. You know, we see the receivers, we see the quarterbacks, we see the running backs. But a lot of times in the trenches, you don't see what kind of war that is out there, man. It's a war going on in those trenches. And then to have this guy to dominate with double teams, triple teams, fighting through a crowd and still getting at the quarterback, going on the sideline. Even that play you're talking about, he's a center guy, and he done went all the way to the sideline to make a play. Man, just think about that. He's a lineman. You don't see many linemen that can make tackles side to side like that.
Yes.
And that's just a tremendous man. This guy probably one of the best we're going to see to play that position. And when when you know a guy's special, when he just, hey man, let's see if he gonna do it, and then he does it, and then he does it, and then he does it again. You know, They go and don't think they're not having type of blocking schemes to keep this guy off, adding a shed block on him and all the different things that he causes and disrupts, and he still make plays. Lord, I wish the Jaguars had a player like that, man. He would solve a lot of problems, man. He'll solve a lot of problems for all 31 teams in the league, man. He's that good. I just
Yeah.
hope that the Super Bowl, I saw this man last year cry on the sideline when they lost that, I believe, at Green Bay.
Yeah.
And he was crying on the sideline. And that's how bad he wanted it. And that's how you imagine what the work he put in from losing that playoff game last year to the point they're getting into the Super Bowl this year and winning. That's what put tears in guys' eyes, because man, when you look at all the work that went into that, all the sacrifice, all the hard work and the pains, the aches, and to go from losing and eliminated last year to winning that prize, holding up that trophy, and we don't see all the work go into the thing. But man, there's a lot of work go into trying to win that championship, man. And that's what you have to do. You have to commend guys who overcome, who's talented, and not just standing on their talent, getting better.
Yeah.
He's got all the natural talent in the world, but man, he's had to work to get to the level he's at right now, man. And I saw him at the basketball game, man. I saw where LeBron, after the game, hugged him, man. It was embraced for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
And I hope Aaron Donald was telling him some things, like what do he got to do to turn that Laker team around. But man, just admiration, appreciation. That's what Aaron Donald is, man. He's a true professional, man. He deserves all the props. He's a great one, and he's gonna be a Hall of Famer too.
Yes, he is. I got to give props to the coaching for both McVay, of course, for making those adjustments. Because Cincinnati's defense did exactly what they've done to every quarterback in the playoffs, which was frustrating. Yeah. And what they start to do, they start to go to basically the quarterback has to take what they give. And that's the Patrick Mahomes couldn't do that. So he still has to learn to do that. He didn't take what they were giving. Matthew Stafford just took what they give. And they were drawing stuff up for Cooper Kupp. They was like, yo, no, Eli Apple can't stick you. Awuzie can't stick you. Hilton can't stick you. None of the safeties, Sample, none of those. They can't stick you. So they just drew up plays for him, and they got it done. But none of this is possible without Raheem Morris and the defense and them, which I'm sure whatever plan they had went in, they had an adjustment for it. So in the first half, 19 pass rush snaps, 1 hurry for Aaron Donald. And it was zeros all across the board. And I was like, second half, he gets stronger as the game go along. So, of course, game goes along. And, I mean, I've seen what they were doing early. They would rotate linemen. So they would rotate the center and the center and guard. And so they will almost triple team him with and the third guy was there to help if he got loose. And that's how they did it. But once they started to rotate the guy to triple team, they started bringing Von Miller or Leonard Floyd behind it. And that's what changed the game.
Yeah. Man, I commend them. The Rams are the Super Bowl champs, man. So all the trades, all the draft picks they gave up, all the doubts, all the naysayers. Hey man, they made the move. You can't say anything but say congrats, because they made a lot of sacrifices this year. Because if they hadn't won the Super Bowl, and you talk about not having a first round pick in about another 3 years, and to be honest, I don't see anything wrong with that model that they did, man. I believe you go out no matter what, particularly when you got talent and you adding you to your talent to be that Super Bowl contending team, is you go try to get all the talent you can get. If it's available, go get it. This is a team that didn't sit still and say, oh yeah, we got Cooper Kupp, we don't need Odell,
Yeah.
And I wish this franchise in Jacksonville, you got to have that type of mentality, man, that nothing matters but that Super Bowl, but that Lombardi trophy. That's all that matters. We don't care if they don't care. Well, they're not worried about if Odell cares about Cooper Kupp catching passes and he getting more targets and all that nonsense. When it comes to winning, They don't care about all that stuff, man. That's just like the NBA. You can put 4 guys on the court, and somebody gonna sacrifice, but at the end, they all gonna eat.
Yeah.
And that's what's winning, and that's what's winning championships. I don't care if it's hockey, football, basketball, whatever it is. Man, you got to have the most talent you can put on your roster to win. There's injuries. There's, some guys will have it good one week. The next week they may not have it. I mean, I saw Von Miller. He didn't play the best during the regular season. No. Not even against the Jaguars.
We talked about it, yeah.
But when it's time when that light switch come on.
Yeah, I was like, yo, he looked like old Von, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Denver essentially gave up on it. I heard people say, yeah, he ain't got it no more. He ain't got it.
They said that. Yeah. On his way out the door, they said that about it.
He ain't got it no more. Okay, well, I think he showed he had something left in the tank. He got that Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what's amazing about sports, man. You can't predict it.
Yeah. Yep, can't predict it. Yeah, you're right. They say Eli Apple definitely got to get back to work. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness, it seemed like everybody on Twitter was killing Eli Apple after the game, man. Eli played the heel though. He played it up, so he talked trash too back and forth. So it was all in fun. He said it's Friday, don't drink like Matthew Stafford. Oh yeah, like my mom was talking about that where the lady fell and she fractured her spine and they're going to pay all her medical bills. And people were talking about how he reacted where she fell and he just like walked away. Yeah. And some people saying, oh, he was drunk, so he shouldn't have touched her or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. At the very least, check on to see how she's doing. He walked away from it. He didn't go to it. So I was like, I can't defend that.
No, I can't defend it. His wife. Well,
wife is the one, yeah.
Looked to see what was going on, but man, yeah, Stafford, you got to show a little more.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Man. Is he a Hall of Famer? Is the question. That's been a debate.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, that's what people been asking. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Nah, I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, man.
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
Yeah,
I gotta see some more.
He had some lean years in Detroit, man. I know this was a great fit with the Rams and a lot of talent on that offensive team, and they got a lot of great play calls, but you can't say one great season put a guy in the hall, man. I mean,
no.
I mean, he, for a quarterback, you have to look at the total body of work, man.
Yeah.
And there was some lean years there. I mean, he had some great yardage totals, 3,000 here, such and such many touchdowns there. But that one loss record, man, I've seen some Matthew Stafford games on Thanksgiving. Like, ain't no way in the world this guy should be in no hall, man.
Yeah.
Especially against Green Bay.
Yeah.
Dude, so no, I want to see a little bit more. I mean, he's a great talent, but I don't want to see a one-hit wonder get into the hall, man.
No. And they say that, well, if he's a Hall of Famer, then so is Matt Ryan. You got to put Matt Ryan in there. If that's the case, Matt Ryan numbers are better, and he has an MVP.
Yeah.
Eli. It's debatable whether Eli is going to be a Hall of Famer, which I think he's eventually going to be. He's a Manning. It's kind of the thing. They're going to give it to him eventually. But he got 2 Super Bowls.
I tell you what, on another topic, man, I'm starting to get a little I'm starting to get Manning out here a little bit, man.
Manning out? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Manning out. I'm starting to be on command. I'm almost like that with Chris Paul, man. I'm tired of State Farm, boy. I mean,
Yeah.
So,
don't worry. Patrick Mahomes will be taking over that State Farm soon enough. And maybe they can incorporate his annoying little brother and his wife. You see where it's supposedly a report where he had a meeting with both of them and told them they can't attend games no more at Chiefs Stadium. But they said that report was supposedly false. But their behavior is something that does need to be highlighted, man, because for Patrick to be such a likable guy, A lot of people was rooting against the Chiefs because they don't want her to advance because they say she's a Karen. That's what she is.
Well, she was
and
pouring
the pouring champagne on fans, and then his little brother was dancing on Sean Taylor's mural. You doing TikTok dances on the dead man's mural? What are you doing?
Why did he do that?
And he said he meant no disrespect.
Well, why would he do it?
I don't know.
That's sacred ground, man.
That's sacred ground, right? Yeah. So people are done. He went to a restaurant in Kansas City and thought he was gonna get the red carpet treatment, but they pretty much gave him the stiff arm. And when he blasted him on social media to help to make people go get him bad Yelp reviews, he was like, "Hey, everybody go get him bad Yelp reviews and Google reviews." They clapped back at him and basically told him like, "Yo, you ain't as important as you think you are."
Yeah, man. I guess the free drinks and food done ran out, man. You know what he needed to do? He needed to be like Stephon Curry, man. Just have your little son run around the court, and they can't get him off the court. This happened the other night, man. His little son running around the court, Steph trying to get back to the sideline, and the little kid running around the court, man, showing his basketball skills.
No, I ain't see that.
And all the fans, man, they standing up there, give the kid up there. He couldn't be no more than like 3. He running around, backing up. They trying to catch him.
Yeah.
And he's making all kind of moves. I say, man, them the moves that this guy got to make, man. I get the fans up, and now the son of fan favorite like the daughter was.
Right. So, but I would say kudos and congrats to Cincinnati on a great season. Went much further than anybody thought that they would go. Coming off of I think what they were a 2-win, 3-win team.
Mm-hmm.
They had probably won a total of 10 games over the previous 3 or 4 years or something like that. So, this was not something that, was just overnight for them. It took them some building to get here. But for them to get to this point and to be right there, I mean, a pass away from extending their season and probably getting a field goal, taking it to overtime, I would say it's a win for them, but I don't know if they'll be able to duplicate this success next season. Not to this level in Super Bowl playoff team. I can see them definitely being a playoff team, even though the AFC is tough. AFC is tough right now. You're talking about a lot of great young quarterbacks. Remember, Lamar Jackson is coming back. He's coming back healthy, so go ahead and add him to the mix of playoff teams. So it is going to be very tough in the AFC. And, of course, you have one of the cheapest owners in all of sports. I know one thing. You can't go cheap on this offensive line if you're Cincinnati. That offensive line lost you the game.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
Yep. Yeah, they got.
That's where your resources need to go.
You know what they say, man? It's hard for a rookie, first-time quarterback like Monroe to come back to the Super Bowl.
16 times. It's never happened. I saw that.
Man, you're going up against the odds, man.
He is.
And I think, when you really look at it, as you say, Baltimore will be ready. Kansas City will be ready.
Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo be
New England.
Definitely be ready. And man, that ladder gonna be much harder climb. But
Tennessee be back.
I like Cincinnati to the point that, man, their offense is just explosive.
Yes.
I mean, they can move that ball in 40 yards in 2 plays or whatever it is, man. They got a high-powered, explosive offense that can score. And they got a great talent in Chase. But man, there's gonna be a lot of teams gunning for them in 2022 season.
Yeah,
be fun to watch though, man. I love, and I said this on your show last week, man. I love the underdog, man. I love the nobody didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And, the richest story. Those are the best sports stories they are. And this team has had a history, spending cheap, not keeping their star players, and franchise basically run wrong, embarrass themselves on Hard Knocks. And
you lost the franchise quarterback in Carson Palmer. You
yeah.
told him, I don't want to play for you no more. Straight up.
So,
I'll retire instead of playing for you.
Boy, come here, back here and play with this. And, like I say, man, this guy is so cheap that, man, he'd rather have his family running. He'd rather hire his family in the front office than hire experienced NFL people. That's just how cheap he is. I mean, that's the history. And it goes all the way back to Paul Brown. Paul Brown didn't want to pay people. Didn't want to pay the best running back in the game.
Yeah.
So I commend them though. They put on a hell of a playoff show.
Yeah, they did. They did. So you have a core of young players, man. You got probably it might be the best trio of wide receivers in the entire league. Yeah. Remember, Tyler Boyd he's a really good wide receiver. T. Higgins is really coming to his own. And you know what Jamar Chase is. You got CJ Uzomah and Joe Mixon. I mean, you have pieces all across the board. And then on defense too. So I can see them contending for the next decade, making deep playoff runs here and there. If anybody could buck the trend of a quarterback losing his debut Super Bowl and not getting back, the last 16 that has debuted and lost, has never gotten back, I think he can break that trend if they do this correctly, because you can't tell me that with this talent, if they don't get back to the Super Bowl with this current group of guys, especially how young they are, it's an epic fail. Yeah. By Zach Taylor and the administration in the front office for the Bengals.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. They got to get that offensive line fixed, though. You can't have your quarterback getting sacked at the rate that he's getting sacked. So they have to address their offensive line. They got to spend some money, whatever it takes, but you got to protect your quarterback better than that. You can't be sacked 9, even though they won. You don't want your quarterback on the ground that much at all. I mean, that's one-on-one football. You can't have that much pressure coming up the middle and getting him sacked 9 times, 8 times, because he's a durable young quarterback, man. But you don't know if he get hit that many times, boy. You don't know when the big one coming. So.
Hey, that one he got hit and he screamed. You saw him scream when he was on the ground holding that knee. But I knew he wasn't coming out because this is the Super Bowl. Just like Matthew Stafford had that ankle turn like this.
Oh, yeah.
I said they're not coming out the game. Tape it up, wrap it up, put some duct tape on it, some salve, aloe, whatever you need to do to it. Shoot it up with Toradol, please, because I'm not coming out the game. And neither one did. But all it's going to take is another hit like the one he already took that had him out, that he missed half his rookie season.
Yeah. So spend the money, get the line upgraded, and then we'll see how you go. See if you can match up again against the Buffaloes and the Chiefs and whoever else there, even the Chargers. Maybe the Chargers will have a turnaround.
So Teron Armstead is a free agent, because that's what Josh Stewart say. Bengals need the Saints left tackle. So Armstead is a free agent.
I believe he is a free agent. Yep.
I take Armstead here in Jacksonville. Forget the Saints and forget the Bengals. Bring Armstead here.
Yeah.
Then that's your tackle problem right there. You put Walker Little at right, and then figure out the rest of the other places. But I take Teron Armstead and then trade that number 1 and go get me a receiver at the top of the draft.
I trade down, get a receiver. I wouldn't wait till the 33rd pick to get my receiver, man.
No, I wouldn't. No, I want one of these guys. I want one of these top guys. I
like the kid from Alabama, even though he got the knee problem. He's gonna be a big time talent, man. I don't know if this team can wait. I don't know what his rehab schedule is and all that, man. But hey, he's a talent, man. If all you got to do is go back to the SEC championship game, and Alabama don't win that game without that kid, man.
Yeah, Jameson Williams. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I've seen getting Jameson and then even picking up John Mechie in the second or third round. because Mechie's projected, I think, to go in the second to third round. They say he has like a second round grade, possible third round. Shoot, you get Jameson Williams and John Mechie, and they are both coming off of injuries, and I do get that. But if you're comfortable about their recovery and their timeline, I would take both of them.
Yeah. If I was them, if they don't trade down and you just get the best available at the number one pick, but if I would use two of my top three picks, might use them on receivers. I mean that's just how bad the position is. I might use two of my first three picks to get a receiver on both of them. That just I don't think it hurts. I think that's what they need. I think they got to get the best available receiver, a playmaker. You don't know. They had no before the draft if they had any luck in free agency. But man, if you're looking for long-term success, then why not get the young talent? If you can get a veteran, but you're gonna have to overpay to get a veteran wide receiver that's good in the free agency. And and the thing about receiver, man, it ain't all about experience. I mean, all you gotta do is look at Cincinnati and look at Demar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got the speed and you can catch and you can run the route, it don't matter if you're a third-year player, rookie, or whatever. You can make an impact.
Yes.
And you got to have the impact on both sides of the field. You can't just lock up on you can't make the mistake and just say, okay, we got a number one receiver, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
When all they're gonna do is double take them out, and then you got nothing else. So you got to have basically two number one receivers and a good slot third receiver.
Yeah.
And I say this for the Jaguars, man. If make some trades. Shit, I mean, we done seen LaVisca, and we done. I mean, if they're not gonna fill the void, then make a trade and get something else. Even if it's I'm almost tied to the point of the Jaguars making trades to only get draft picks. I want to see some trades to get some help now.
Mm-hmm. Tight end. We got to go get a tight end.
I'm almost to the point that every time these guys make a trade, it's for a draft pick. But that's not the way the league works. Get some talent, man.
Well, the Jaguars have had epic fails in the draft. I think one of them that's going to come back to bite us because, we always we drafted a punter over Russell Wilson, drafting Taven Bryan. At the time, drafting Tyson Alualu, drafting Blake Bortles. We passed on a lot of talent, a lot of talented guys. Passing on Freiermuth was, that's going to come back to bite us.
Yeah, that was
and his position coach was here in town, and they didn't draft him. I still don't understand that. Freiermuth can play.
Well, thank God that regime is gone, man. Because I'm like you. I almost thought that was almost a shoe-in. Here you got his position coach here in Jacksonville. He's basically the top tight end on the board. You got an opportunity to draft him, and you don't.
Yeah.
I throw my hands up on the draft and say, man, these guys I don't think they know what they're doing. They learning on the job.
Gotta be. See, Jakari says AR-15 and Gallup in 2022. So Allen Robinson and Michael Gallup.
Nah, that don't do it for me.
They don't do it for me either. I take Allen Robinson, but Michael Gallup, I don't know, man. I think he's a talented young player, but you're betting on potential versus a sure thing. He's not a sure thing.
But Allen Robinson is a good player. I would say a great player 3 years ago. He don't have speed. He's a great possession receiver.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a good third receiver for the Jags, but I don't think he fits the bill for a number one receiver. Not for what they need. They need a guy who runs a 4.2, 4.3 40, can run every route. I'm not just talking about going deep.
Yeah.
Can make plays, play like Chase. Long term, he's still here 5 years from now and can make every play in the book and be that number one weapon for Trevor. That's what they need. Allen Robinson. I think the best of Allen Robinson is behind him, in my opinion. But for this franchise, he's been here. You know, it. Sometimes I wonder just how great 2017 would have been if he hadn't got hurt in that opening game. Really, they would have been that much better. He could have probably had him, and it might have would have pushed him over the top against the Patriots. But that's hindsight. We'll never know. But I will say this: out of my first training camp here, the guy in 2017 training camp was by far the most talented player on the field. He could make any catch. He was catching Blake Bortles, bad throws, high, low, to his feet. Didn't matter. He still called it. Yeah. But I haven't seen a whole lot on his resume with the Bears. I just hadn't. I have not seen a whole lot.
Okay, Jakari said Godwin and Robinson. What about Chris Godwin and Robinson?
I think Godwin is great. He's big time.
Yeah.
Now I don't care about the injury and all that. Hey, he's a young gun. Well, he's not even 26 years old.
Right. Yeah, he said, or throw the checkbook at Devontae and draft a receiver. Yeah, Devontae Adams is interesting too. I don't think he gets out of Green Bay because I don't think Aaron is going anywhere right at the moment. As long as Aaron is there, I don't see him getting out of Green Bay. I mean, if you want to retain Aaron, you got to retain Devontae Adams. That doesn't make any sense unless Aaron decides he wants to leave. Then Devontae becomes a real option. Let's see, Uzama, Schultz, and Gesicki are pending free agents. Really, one of them one or two will get re-signed. Uzama is probably going to get re-signed. I don't see Uzama hitting the open market.
Yeah, I like Gesicki.
I like Gesicki too. Yeah, Gesicki killed us in London.
Yeah, he killed him here in Jacksonville too the year before.
Oh yeah, the year before, yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
And then Schultz, I like Schultz too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dalton Schultz is good. I wonder what he would command, but Adam wants $30 million a year. Ooh, man.
Boy, that's a lot of bags, boy.
Ooh-wee. Hey, he might as well go ahead and get the Brinks truck like Jalen Ramsey and show up to training camp in that.
And if he came to Jacksonville, he probably asked for $32 million.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? I would love to see the Jaguars. Just even if you don't get them, just be aggressive. Just be aggressive. Just whoever the Shelters report that the Jaguars has made a $34 million offer for Devontae. I mean, I want to see that. I mean, it may not make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You 50.
But I want to know you being aggressive.
$58 million under the cap. That it probably take up basically everything. But man, I want to see these guys be aggressive. I want to see them do what they did going into 2017 when they signed all those free agents, the AJ Bouye, the Calais Campbell. That's what they got to do, man. You got to get back to that. It may not be that's a short window fix, but Lord, give the fans something exciting, even in the short term.
Yeah. Here we go. Jakar say Chase burnt Jalen Ramsey up, and Higgins out-muscled him. Oh, come on, Jakari. Don't get on that bandwagon. Dude, if you go back and watch the tape, man, of course, the one with T. Higgins, dude, pull the face mask, threw him down. They should have called that. They call that. If it ain't the Super Bowl, they call that. They get called in every game. It didn't get called the Super Bowl, but every other game, it's going to get called. They just didn't call it. The outside of that, the 46-yarder to Chase, I saw the one-on-ones. I saw the film where they showed every snap against Chase. Chase was locked up for majority of the game. Remember, after the 46-yard catch, what Chase did after that? He had the one catch on the last drive where Jalen looked like he tried to gamble on the ball and missed, and Chase got like a 20-yard catch. He ran up the sideline. Other than that, dude, Jalen Ramsey played a pretty good game, So they talk that trash, but what you got to understand, the way they use Jalen. So the way they use Jalen is they used him based on where they thought the ball was going. So if they thought Chase was getting the ball, if they thought Boyd was getting the ball, if they thought Higgins was getting the ball, Jalen Ramsey matched up on the receiver that they thought was the hot receiver. So he threw the ball his way. and he didn't do too bad.
No, he didn't do too bad, but I like the way they use him, man. He's not standing on an island and he's not getting, a lot of reps where he's actually defending the guy that's getting the ball thrown to him, which was a problem in Jacksonville. So now, he's a lot of times he's not lined up on the outside. You check off, and then he'll get in a one-on-one situation with the receiver. But I commend those guys for having a coverage like that, because you want your best guy against their best guy, and his reputation is so throughout the league that, man, he don't get a lot of action a lot of times just because of how good he is. But
if they didn't move him around, they would have stayed away from him in most of the game.
You gotta utilize your best talent, man. You're paying them all that money, and you want to get your money's worth. So commend the Rams.
Safety saved JR on that touchdown pass. Higgins drop. That's the life of a corner. Like this is the thing. This is the thing. Do y'all expect a guy who's a top corner? Do you expect him to shut down everybody, even the guys who are paid to catch the ball on him? Like people brought it up. Deion Sanders didn't shut down Jerry Rice every time he met him. It's just it's not happening. You can't do it. And if you are going to get beat, I would rather be Chase Daniels than Laviska Shenault. I mean, Jamar Chase than Laviska Shenault. Yeah. Like, come on. He didn't get beat by Marvin Jones, guys. Come on. It was Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is good. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you said it the right way on that one, Brandon. I mean, this kid is good, man.
Jamar Chase is great.
Yeah, he got the full package. He can run the route, and he can catch. And that catch that he made on Jaden, that deep one, I mean, he grabbed that ball with one hand. I mean, most guys can't make no catch and see the ball, eye on the ball after getting around his quarterback, and then make a one-handed grab.
Yeah, man. And after that play, after the 46-yard catch, I seen Ryan Clark put on Twitter. He was like, "If I'm Jalen Ramsey, I'm not playing a single down off coverage the rest of the game. I'm getting up in dude's face." And that's pretty much what he did the rest of the game.
Yep.
Hey, here go Jakari, overrated. If he was still wearing teal, you wouldn't be saying that. You'll have on the Jalen. You'll have Jalen Ramsey underwear on right now if he was still a Jaguar and we had won the Super Bowl. Hey, you'll be walking into your job singing that Jalen Ramsey. We going to the Super Bowl and we go win that. That's what you'll be saying right now, Jakari. Come on now. Come on with that.
Yeah, I'm not one of the ones that was upset he left, man.
Probably.
They traded him. Oh, no. They traded the best player in franchise history.
Hey, and this is the thing. He talking about you damn Skippy. Okay, yeah, okay. I got you, Jakari. It's sour grapes. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. But I'll tell you one thing, though. People talk that trash, but let's see if next season that people are going to make their money throwing against Jalen Ramsey next year. I guarantee they're not.
Yeah.
Guarantee they're not. I don't suggest if you want to move the ball, don't pick Jalen Ramsey to throw the ball on.
Yeah. He's earning those millions that he's making, man. You know, some folks in Jacksonville are never going to forgive him with that fake back injury.
Oh, yeah.
My back.
Yeah. I mean, but you got to know. You got to understand, hey, man ain't trying to go out there and get hurt. He was done with the franchise. So he's like, I ain't going out there to get hurt. I remember when he had the conference with Shad Khan, and they talked about it, and Shad was like, afterwards, he's like, well, I thought we were in a good place, and I thought we had got something resolved. And I'm like, Shad, that man don't want to play here no more. He told you what you wanted to hear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he just gave a treat on his final game. I remember his final game in Jacksonville against Tennessee in that Thursday night game.
I remember that game.
Yeah, they beat the Titans in mid-season. What was that?
Tyson Campbell better. He talking about Tyson Campbell better. Man, Lord have mercy.
Is a young pup, man.
Yeah. Dude, he ain't even off the leash yet, man. He's still in the yard.
Yeah, he got a lot to learn. He had a good, I give him this. He had a strong season.
He did.
He turned it around. But, back to the Jags, man.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they got NFL coaches. We won't have Andre Cisco on the bench for like 10 games no more.
Right. With a special teamer playing safety.
Yeah, we'll have a spades call spades. Hey, it's gonna be talent, not hey. We're not gonna treat people because we hadn't done our job on the practice field and haven't allowed our rookie to learn the play signals and calls, which is a college move.
Yeah.
I mean, I call it real, man. I'm not a sugarcoater. Chris Ash, I don't think that was a good choice to be the safeties coach.
Okay.
So I like the fact that every coach on this staff, including the head coach, are NFL experience.
Yeah.
There's no scratching the head and there's no more standing at the podium. I gotta go ask somebody else. I don't know the answer. So if they lose, they lose because they lost, not because incompetence.
Yeah.
Or we got a coaching staff on training wheels, or we got a head coach who relying too much on his offensive and defensive coordinators. And this team won't have a wide receiver coach as bad as Sanjay Lee, who I thought was absolutely horrible.
Right. Yeah,
So,
didn't hear much of many good things.
Spade as a spade is, man. Those receivers were bad, and they did not get better from week 1 to week 17. And if a wide receiver coach can't develop the receivers running wrong routes, running into each other, I mean, we know what it was. You don't even have to rehash it.
Right. Yeah, the only positive that came out of the receiver room this year was Laquan Treadwell.
Yeah. But I think I think you got professional coaches. They understand the NFL. They understand that this is a scoring league. They know how to make fixes. They know how to make adjustments. And they understand that they got to get Trevor Lawrence better. And in order to make them better, you got to bring in more talent.
Yeah.
And if they got the understanding of those bases, they're moving in the right direction. Even if it's 5-win season, 6-win season, they're moving in the right direction to win eventually. Because they wasn't going to win eventually with that past regime.
Right.
That's calling a spade as a spade.
Yeah. See, Dakari say, but if we compare him with Stingley, defense will be dangerous. Yeah, Stingley going high though. Like, we need a receiver. I'm not taking the Kona at the top of the draft. I need a receiver. Stingley is good though. Yeah. Stingley is good. You see, Chris Jackson and Angulo were interesting hires. Angulo caught my eye. When I saw Richard, I say Richard Angulo coming back to Jacksonville. I remember the big fella. Yeah, that was an interesting hire.
Yeah. I like the staff though, man. I like the mix of coaches that they have. I think Mike Caldwell be pretty good as a defensive coordinator. I like the secondary coach. I like the I'm a little surprised they brought back 5 holdovers from the previous staff. They brought back, the one come to mind first is like Bernie Parmalee, the running back coach is back.
Yep.
Little surprised because of the offensive line situation that they brought back Todd Washington, but hey, he wasn't the problem. The problem is Warhol. Yeah. And another thing, as I think we said on the show, previous shows, that they're gonna do a lot of zone blocking, man, and zone blocking is a whole lot different than what Warhol's.
Right.
You got to have quick, agile guys. When you zone blocking, you got, it's just like basketball. You got to defend an area. You don't defend a man. You defend in an area, and you got to get back and protect. You got a wider space to protect. But I would say 30 teams out of the league, one of the few is Jacksonville, who didn't have that scheme in because you had an offensive line coach who was outdated.
Yeah, let's keep it. Let's keep it like that. Let's keep it say that. Outdated. Yeah, let's keep it like that for sure. See, Jakar say Agnew. Oh, Jamal Agnew too. Him, he was him. Jamal Agnew. Got to give him credit.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh Stewart talked about what you said before we came on. Bevel and Tua 22. Hey, Josh. Hey, he was just talking about that. Josh. He said Darrell Bevel's supposed to be the savior in Miami. He's supposed to save Tua. Really?
Well, let's keep an eye on if Tua progress with Bevel.
Yeah. Let's see.
He's the passing game coordinator. Wait a minute. Let's go back to that. Passing game coordinator, and they average like what, 13 points a game?
Yes.
Excuse me. I mean, come on, man. I say this all the time, man. The NFL has to stop with these retreads, man.
No.
They gotta stop, man. There's no. Hey, do you think Darrell Bevel gonna be any different than what he was? What 3 months ago? They did beat the Colts, but he went 1-3 as the interim coach. It took them. You know, he didn't know how to utilize the run game. He had his quarterback throwing 51 times. You know, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm disgusted with the NFL. A guy goes from being a horrible offensive coordinator to a 1-3 interim coach. So you read the stuff down there in South Florida, and they basically saying we got somebody finally who can turn around Tua. Yeah. I think I don't get it. If he the last I checked, Trevor Lawrence was a 59. He had a 59% completion rate. He had 17 interceptions and 12 touchdowns.
Right.
I mean, that's what you call a guy who can change around a quarterback.
That's the guy. That's the guy that they chose. And speaking of which, that was one of the topics of Brian Flores talking about his relationship with Tua, and he said it wasn't strained. So I'm gonna read this statement by him. I thought it was a little interesting. Talk about the situation a little bit before we get back to the Jaguars, and then I think Michele Tafoya. Yeah, I can't forget about Michele Tafoya and how she just went.
Can't forget about it either.
Dude, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I heard about it on Fox. She was on Fox the other night.
Yeah. I say, well, you did all of this, so now you can have this political career. Really? You want this political career, and then you have this political career, and the first things that you talk about is like color shouldn't matter. Really? That's one of the first official statements come out with you being on the politics side of things now, is that you feel like color shouldn't matter when it comes to your kids and their friends and them having black or stuff like that. Huh? Anytime where I hear people say I don't see color or color shouldn't matter, automatically I'm like, yo, that's a red flag to me.
Well, we can't change history, Brandon. History is what it is. You know, you can't protect the children if you have them in history class and you want them to get a knowledge of what went on in this world.
Right.
You can't put a buffer on a kid's ear and not teach them that slavery happened. It really happened. You know, you can't.
Yeah, it really happened.
You can't be a history teacher in this country and teach, world history and go back to 1586 through 1800s, and slavery wasn't the biggest issue and the biggest money maker in America. You know, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That.
So it's disingenuous.
Creative theory or whatever that is, man. I just
critical race theory. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Let's see. It says former Dolphins coach Brian Flores hasn't shied away from speaking publicly about his current fight with the NFL, even though the league surely will study every word he says in search of anything that could be used as ammunition to create the impression of inconsistency in anything he may say while testifying later. in his landmark lawsuit against the league and multiple teams. Yeah, he better have I's dotted and T's crossed going into this, because the NFL's legal team they say it's like a bunch of mobsters, some goons, man. So they come with everything. He better be wearing the whole armor of God going into this lawsuit. Hey, so we said Flores appears he was on the I Am Athlete podcast, and he talked about it. He said this is an interesting topic because it wasn't strained. We had a good relationship. It was a player-coach relationship. And I think in that relationship like that, the coach challenges the players, and oftentimes the player challenges the coach. And I think there was a great deal of respect between the two of us. So you hear these crazy kind of this narrative that's out there, but this is a young man who works, who developed and got better over 2 years. And, I think he's got, a bright future. I wish him all the best. So the world can think what it wants to think. I think ask Tua. I'm here to say what I gotta say, and you can ask him. So I think he'd say the same thing. So I thought that was interesting what he said, because remember we talked about it initially, that they said that that's one of the reasons he was out is because of his relationship with Tua. And how it was a strained relationship, and that's the thing they blamed it on. And when it comes down to coach versus quarterback, they're going to pick the quarterback most times. It's rare that they're going to choose the head coach, because you can go get another guy to coach. You can't replace that quarterback so easily. But for Brian Flores to come out and say, well, that wasn't the case, he said, hey, ask Tua and put it on Tua so Tua can rebut or refute or whatever. But Tua is a professional, and any resentment or feelings that he's harboring toward Brian Flores, he'll never say it in the public circle. I'd be very shocked if he did say whatever issues that they had. So he's probably gonna, it's gonna be water under the bridge, and he'd be like, yeah, I have respect for coach, and that's about it.
But you know what, Brandon? I mean, it's like, man, in the history of the NFL, there has I won't say in all cases, but in a lot of cases, there's not a great relationship between quarterback and head coach.
Yeah.
If you go back to the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bradshaw and the Steelers coach didn't see eye to eye at all. And it didn't prevent them from winning 4 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
It's a position, no matter what, it's always going to be the quarterback who get most of the blame, all the praise. And when you losing, as they did, 7-game losing streak or whatever they were on.
Yep,
And
he was hurt for
he
good bit of
wasn't
that.
playing well. He wasn't, he was running out the pocket too quick, and he wasn't doing the things that he needed to do to lead this team to win. And if you have a head coach that goes into the offensive meeting and says that you got to play better, then hey, that's a statement. That's not a conflict.
Yeah.
And I just think, this is my opinion, man. I just think that whatever, the Dolphins are wrong. I don't care what you say. You don't fire a coach on a 2-year winning streak. It's the percentages that kept them out of the playoffs. It wasn't that he's a bad coach that kept them out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat New England twice. I mean, and you're talking about a team that's still building. They're not
Still
where they're
building.
supposed to be at. And for the guy to come back around and look at the Dolphins and what they was 3 years ago. I remember the Jaguars played a preseason game then. They were absolutely horrible.
Yes.
So to come back around and for this owner, and I put the onus on the owner, the owner just, whatever the reason, I think the riff and the tiff was with the owner and the head coach, not the head coach and the quarterback, whatever this guy thinking was, he made the call to fire Flores. So, all of this, oh man, I love yeah, we got our debate here in Jacksonville with this bulky too, man. But hey, but I just Miami was wrong. That's bottom line. They shouldn't have fired him. And he, you do him wrong, he comes back and do you wrong. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
He filed a lawsuit, and he has a reason to file a lawsuit. He feel he wasn't treated fairly. And
Yeah.
what other recourse he's going to have? He can go interview because of the Rooney Rule, be a token interview, don't get a job. So I commend what he's doing. He's exposing the problem, and he's sacrificing at the same time. So I commend him, but there's a problem in Miami. At least it was a problem in Miami when he was the head coach there. And I just think they grab bagging. I think they done basically tarnishing his name, putting stuff out there in public consumption so he won't get a job. And I think a lot of this stuff is being created, and I don't think it's factual. And that's just John Reid's opinion. But, I commend the guy. He probably won't win this lawsuit, but I'll tell you this. He's exposing the problem.
Yes.
Don't be shocked if more coaches join that lawsuit, because this problem has to be corrected, man. You can't, we were just talking about this. You can't have the Darrell Bevel. And even though Darrell Bevel is not a head coach, but he's still, it's a position of authority. He's a quarterback coach, passing game coordinator. And if you look at what he did last season, he don't deserve that job. To be reality, he don't deserve that job. He didn't put in the resume shows that basically, he's equal. He's on equal terms. He didn't take a step down, nor did he take a step up. But I guarantee if you look at his pay scale, I guarantee he's making just as much as he made in Jacksonville as he's making in Miami. And his credential in Jacksonville is he helped the quarterback pass for 59% completion rate. He was 1-3 as an interim head coach, and this team went 3-14 total when he was offensive coordinator. So if that deserve a promotion or equal footing, something wrong. And something
no touchdown passes.
Yeah.
No touchdown passes in a month and a half.
Yep. But he's a savior in Miami. He's the guy that's going to turn Tua around. Give me a break, man. This guy has not really done nothing. To be honest, he really hadn't done much since they won that Super Bowl in Seattle. And he messed that up.
Yeah,
he messed up the one that they lost. Put it that way.
Let's put it that way. So, Jakari say, how long you think Balky got in office?
Man, I tell you what, man, I'm almost thinking Balky. Man, Balky like the mafia, man. He got 9 lives.
Hey, my mama favorite thing to say. Well, does Balky have something on Shad Khan? He gotta have something on him.
Hey, even what's the former Jaguar kicker, man? I lost my thought, man.
Oh, Lambo?
No, before him, back in the glory day. What's the kicker?
Scobie.
Scobie.
Yeah, Josh Scobie.
Josh Scobie put out a poll on Twitter, man. And I think that was one of the questions. Does he have something on?
Does he have something on it? Yeah, I think he did see that
we don't know about.
Yeah.
I mean, my watch is ticking, and there's no news on any progress of what's being made on this executive vice president job.
That's the next comment.
No candidate.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that they interviewed anyone. I haven't heard Spielman name in almost a month.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned. I don't know where that's at. And we asked that question today during this press conference. And only thing Peterson says, he can't speak on it, but he would like to be involved with it. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, they go answer Josh Stewart. Yeah. So
all I know is this, man, time is running out because look, hey, you got the combine in a week. Not this week, the next week. You got to be at this point evaluating you got to be evaluating draft prospects at this point. So
Yeah.
I would want my EVP to be involved in the draft and in free agency. Now, if you hire the EVP after all that is done, then I don't think you need that position.
Right.
I'm just
right.
saying.
It needs to come in now.
Yeah.
Before players are being acquired. Yeah.
So you won't have Trent Baalke making decisions on free agency and the draft. So he needs to be hired, and he needs to be hired very soon.
Yeah.
Like before March the 1st, when this combine start, and you got all this talent in one spot, and you making draft decisions and interviewing them, you need that EVP then there so he can be part of the chain here, going up there to Indianapolis to do these serious evaluations on who the heck you want to draft with that number 1 pick. So that's a message to Shad Khan, man. It's just like them signs on the field, man. I want to see more than words. I want to see action. Get this thing, get this job hired, and so you got somebody with football knowledge who's above Trent Baalke. If not, if you talking about hiring this guy in June, man, you might as well wait till the end of the season and start over for the next football season, because it really, at that point, it don't make any difference who you got at the EVP when all the decisions been made.
Let Baalke run it then. If that's the case, run it with Baalke, and you're wasting, like you say, you're wasting money. He don't like wasting money.
Well, thing Jaguars got to stop always trying to halt the storm. Delaying the storm doesn't help your franchise, man. Because once it get out that the EVP is gonna be hired after all the real decisions gonna be made, then you might as well should have said that from the get-go, because you're still gonna get an outburst of fans that don't like that decision. You don't put yourself in a situation where you just quiet in the storm, a season ticket sales about to start, and then after you do what you need to do to sell tickets, and then it comes back that you sat on your hands and didn't do what you said you was gonna do, then your fan sentiment, the goodwill is gone. So we done seen that chapter before, man. Don't mess up a good thing. Do what you said you were gonna do. Go out, get the best EVP, run a collaborative effort to make decisions and get this stuff done before the decisions have to be made.
Josh will say Sanjay Lyle is the receiver coach and passing game coordinator in Seattle.
Well, I commend him. Hey, I even clap on that. At least he's not in Jacksonville, because I thought he was. Man, I'm almost saying that guy stole money for the Jaguars. I mean, those receivers was bad. He did nothing to elevate those receivers. None at all. If Seattle think he could do something with their receiver, whatever he coaching, good luck to Seattle.
Well, hey, DK Metcalf definitely gonna be out of there now.
But he won't even have nothing to do. Man, DK will still do his own thing. DK probably won't even respect him.
Right.
But he has, man, I don't know what his track. That's what I'm talking about. The recycling. A guy who did nothing, get a job, and then you have the Eric Bieniemys and people like that who got the record, the track record, the experience, and can't get a head coaching job. You tell me what's wrong with the league. It's a fact.
This is true. Jakari say Baalke did hit on a few picks last draft. It's too early to tell. It's too early to tell. Josh saying too early to tell.
What are we talking about? He hit on the quarterback at the number 1 overall pick.
He don't get credit for that. Nobody gets credit for taking you don't get credit for taking Andrew Luck number 1. You don't get credit for taking Peyton Manning number 1. You don't get credit for taking Trevor Lawrence number 1. It's what you needed to do.
Or Tyson Campbell. That's about the only two that I say hit. And you had a guy that you drafted third round and didn't play him till like the 8th week of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they got to go out and get aggressive, good players. I mean, I don't have to say it
Yeah.
any more than that. I don't want to see draft picks. You got 12 picks this round. I think you got 2 third round, three 6 rounders. But if you drafting first through fourth, it shouldn't take first through fourth for a player to get on the field, and it takes 9 weeks to get on the field. I
Yeah.
mean, that's unacceptable. Not for a team that went 1-15 the season before. You don't move up
Yeah.
9 spots and don't play. You draft the kid, and hell, I don't even think he played the whole season.
He said Dante
Yeah,
Fowler is
yeah,
available again.
yeah. Okay.
Dante Fowler. I mean,
nah, man, we don't want no Dante. I like Dante, but man, come
Dante's
on.
cool, but nah, I hated when they
Nah,
drafted him, man. Because I
nah.
wanted Leonard Williams. I didn't want Dante Fowler. I wanted Leonard Williams. We should have drafted Leonard Williams.
Nah, man, we don't want. We'll pass on Dante, man. We done had that, man. Hell, I go with Smoot.
Yeah. Shoot, hold on. Was Dante? I know Dante was the one that got into it with the older guy and
Yeah,
threw his groceries and his glasses in the lake or something like that.
yeah. Pulled out his bed, threw his groceries in the lake. That's Dante.
Yeah. And then wasn't he also the one that basically had his baby mama's fight right in front of him?
Yeah, that's Dante.
You want that Dante? Josh Stewart. You want that Dante back here? Come on
Dante
now.
from St. Pete, boy.
Dante got some problems.
Nah, man. There's a reason why Dante in the Atlanta Falcons part ways, man. If the Falcons got rid of you,
Yeah.
it's probably. And then he was with the Rams. He signed with the Falcons in free agency. So
Yeah.
no, man, that ain't the direction.
No. Say, well, they have to change the look of the team to even attract top tier talent. Yeah, T Smalls, we gotta win. You want to attract top tier talent and not overpay, you gotta win.
Well, they're gonna have to overpay. Ain't no question
Yeah.
about that one. They
You definitely
particularly
gonna
this year,
overpay.
you're gonna have to
Definitely this year.
overpay, and you're gonna have to be aggressive. You know, you're gonna have to make the first offer. You're gonna have to set the market price to give offers that they can't refuse. And that's why? Well, you won 4 games in 2 years.
Yeah.
Who want to come to that without
Who?
a guarantee, some money?
Mhm.
It is what it is, man. That's the NFL. You got 4-29 over 2 years.
Yeah.
The beach, you can have the best beaches in Jacksonville, but that ain't gonna lure no free agent to come here.
He said, nah, Fowler just had 4.5 sacks last year. Yeah, so he's Jihad Ward, is what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. He's DeJuan Smoot, is what you're telling me.
4.5 sacks. That's why the Falcons done cut the cord, man.
Yeah. You see,
somebody will sign him, though.
Yeah, he'll get signed. Yeah. I wish Philly wanted Hutchinson so bad that we can get 2 of their first rounders. They still have 2 first round picks.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for that to happen. I don't see that. I don't see no teams making any moves necessarily to come up to that spot and get anything other than a quarterback.
Well, there ain't no great quarterbacks that they can pick in the top 3.
It's not.
So that's the problem right there. They had to. They were in the best situation to get the best talent in the 2021 draft, and this year having the number 1 pick, it's just not a. Well, they got great linemen, but it's really not a great strong draft. It's not.
I'm saying only thing you can hope for is one of those guys get hot. Like they have great interviews, they have a great workout at the combine, a great pro day, and they really surge up the boards. Like Blake Bortles surged up the boards leading up to the draft. The fact that he would go 3rd overall shocked me. I didn't think he would go that high. I knew he'd be first round. But yeah, hopefully maybe one of those guys can go that high. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, Chandler Jones. He said maybe Chandler Jones or Harold Landry. I want Harold Landry. I'll take Harold Landry right now. Harold Landry is a monster. That dude's an absolute monster for Tennessee.
How old is Chandler Jones? 36?
I don't know if he's that old, but let's see. How old is Chandler Jones? Let's see. How old is Chandler? Okay, here he is. And Chandler Jones he's 31.
31.
31. Yeah, he's 31
So that's
and
about the age they got Calais then.
Yeah, and he had 10.5 sacks last season. So yeah.
That's pretty good. That would have led the team?
That would have led the team. Yeah. He had 4. I think he had 4, 3 or 4 in the first game. You see, 32.
Oh,
32, yeah.
32 years old. I want to see the Jags make a blockbuster trade, man. That's what I want to see. They're not for draft picks, for talent.
The receiver. Yeah, the receiver. The draft is receiver heavy this year. Yeah, so you gotta go get your receiver.
Yeah,
so it's a receiver for USC that I've seen. That dude, he looked like he's pretty good too.
Yeah,
you got a couple of guys.
Trade down and get 2 receivers in the draft. Get one in the first round, get one in 33.
Yeah,
but you gotta get it. I mean, you gotta get more. You can't keep what you got and average less than 14 points a game. And this situation gonna get turned around. This team got to average. Depending on what they're giving up, this team got to average about 28, 30 points a game. And it still ain't no guarantee. They might give up that many, but for the fans' perspective, I would rather see a bad team that can go up and down the field and score than have a team that can make all the stops in the world but can't get, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Yeah.
So excitement means a lot, but they gotta get people who can get in the end zone, man.
Yeah. These some good day 2 picks. Dotson, Mechie, Pickens, or Justin Ross on day 2.
Yeah,
I don't think you can go with any of those names.
Let me write those down. Dotson, Mechie, Pickens.
Yeah.
Pickens,
and Justin Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with those guys.
I think all those guys was in the Senior Bowl. I don't know about, but Mechie was hurt, right?
Yeah, Mechie was hurt. Let's see. As soon as they find a better pass rusher, Josh Allen is gone. Now I'm not on the Josh Allen whole thing because you gotta remember this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. We got spoiled with the mayor, Calais Campbell, and Yannick Ngakoue. And even with Dante Fowler and those guys, where we had guys that can, really rush the passer. But you have to remember, Josh Allen is still a young guy, and he's playing the role of Calais Campbell now. He's playing the veteran. That's what he is. So he's getting all the double teams. He's getting all the schemes. Dude, teams have to scheme against him so he doesn't wreck the game. When Buffalo had a terrible scheme, he wrecked the game. The next game against the Colts, terrible scheme, he wrecked the game. So, I mean, you get him more help is what you need. He just needs more help. I think he needs more help.
Man, he got to upgrade his game, man. I say this. This is one of the best things I heard from Mike Caldwell. Not Mike Caldwell said it. Doug Peterson said it. He said that we have to do a better job at it. The skies are not covered. So we're going to move Josh all around the field. Even say Chason, that we're going to move both those guys all around the field, because the key is this. We're going to blitz. We're going to probably blitz a lot. We're going to be aggressive defense, but we don't want the opponent to know where the blitz coming from, which is, I never heard of. I didn't hear that from Cullen, and I didn't hear it from Todd Walsh, both the previous defensive coordinators. That's what they do in Tampa, and they need to do it in Jacksonville. So if you can move this guy around the field, if he even come in from the middle, come in from the left, come in from the right, it sounds like they're going It sounds like he'd be not dropping back in coverage more as much as he probably did in Cullen's system and go after the quarterback, which that's what he's here for. So that's
Right.
a good thing to say. But he's got to step it up too, man. I mean,
No, he has to be better.
I see this kid, man. He's physically, he's got all the skills in the world, man. He's physical. He can get off blocks. He's instinctive. He got all the tools, but he's got to increase that sack total, man. You can't be third year guy and you still, your best sack year was your rookie year. So he's got to, I mean, yeah, and just
Yeah,
like you said, Brandon, I mean, when you got the bullseye, you're
he's the
gonna
bull.
get
He's the
chipped.
guy.
You're gonna get chipped by the tight end. You're gonna get draw double teams, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to come up and get angles and get after it. I mean, the same thing with Aaron Donald. He's a target, but he find a way to make plays, and Josh got to do the same.
Ngakoue went through it. When Ngakoue had his breakout 9 sacks
Yep.
in his rookie year, he came back that next year, and teams were ready. They were chipping him, hitting him with the backs, hitting him with the tight ends, and he had to overcome it. And Josh has to do the same thing. Let's see, Josh Stewart say, I agree. Robertson, Harris, and Smoot aren't enough help around Allen. Like, yeah, if we're really gonna be honest about it, there is no starting caliber defensive lineman outside of Josh Allen on the team.
You're right. Or one that you even have to concentrate double with, or putting a second defender on or chipping, and
Yeah.
that's what they got to. I mean, they got an opportunity to get a Hutchinson and the kid at Oregon, but I don't see neither one of those guys as being
I don't either.
a can't miss. He's just a bona fide. Like this. I don't
Like
see.
double-digit sack guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I watched Hutchinson in that Georgia game, and he was basically getting blocked by a single lineman. He wasn't
Yeah.
doing anything special. And I think he had 13 sacks or whatever it was for Michigan. I mean, but I don't see dominance. I don't see this kid taking over a game. I don't
Yeah.
see him just hey, getting 3 sacks in a row, which it sounds crazy, but I just don't see him. I don't see a 14 sack season total from this kid, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When I initially saw him, I was like, okay, he kind of reminds me of maybe along the lines of maybe the Bosa's or something like that. But
Mhm.
after watching him against Georgia, I said he's not in their class.
Yeah, that's what I
He,
said.
especially the older Bosa. The older Bosa is the best one, and it's
Yeah.
not close. People talk about Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa is the best Bosa, and it's not close.
Yeah.
But he's not nowhere near close to Joey. He's not Nick Bosa. He's not TJ Watt. He's not JJ Watt. I'm not taking that guy number 1 if he's not those guys.
I'll just say, man, hey, if it ain't in the car, just trade down. Get more talent and just trade the pick and get what you need. You're not gonna get an
Yeah.
Aaron Donald in this draft. I mean, let's
Yeah.
face it. You're
That's
not
what
gonna
T-Small
get
said. The standard is Aaron Donald. That's the standard.
standing in Aaron Donald, and he ain't in this draft. So
Yeah.
trade down, get the best receivers you can get. Make your. It's like basketball. Make your team up tempo. We need an up tempo team. We need to.
Yeah.
We need to be like I think the Bengals are up tempo.
Up
They
to yeah.
don't. They
2-minute
don't
drill.
play. They don't play the sticks. They just play. Hey, we get a chunk here, a chunk there, a chunk here, touchdown.
Yeah.
They're not playing old third down and 7. We're playing for we want chunk plays, and
Yeah.
that's what
Staying ahead of the sticks. Yeah.
Yep. And the quickest turnaround for the Jags, you got to be more explosive. At this point, as we said earlier, man, I would rather see the Jaguars put up 30 points a game, and even if they gave up 31, they on the right track. But when you giving up 31 and you scoring 12,
Yeah.
or don't score at all, or getting beat 50-10, that ain't moving the needle.
Yeah. Yeah. I
We
think
don't
that
want to see that.
yeah. Defense does win championships, of course, and you want to build a defense, but being able to score points, you have to be able to score points. You need that.
Yeah.
You need that because, like, not every game you're not going to be able to score 30 every game, but because of the talent that you have, you'll be able to overcome whatever deficit it is. Like, I'm fairly confident that if anybody but Aaron Donald was playing defensive tackle for the Rams, Cincinnati would have won that game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, especially
any other
down the stretch. Yep.
Yeah. Cincinnati wins the game.
And another thing, Brandon, we got to make sure we ain't have to worry about that rookie year, but we got to make sure. I mean, I'm saying we, the Jaguars, got to make sure that they're doing the right things to help Trevor and make Trevor feel that this franchise is where he needs to be.
Yeah.
They got to make strategic moves that when it comes time for contract extensions and things like that, but you got to make sure that you allowing this kid that he can do the best and that he can accelerate his ability with the talent you have on the field. Because when it comes time that he can sign with someone else, don't think that that's going to be part of the consideration. Because he want to be put in the best situation to win. And if he's not being put in the best situation to win, that's the best situation for him to move on.
Yeah.
So you got to rectify your offensive deficiency. And that's not a long-term fix. That's like you got to start making that fix now.
Yes, you have to.
12 picks sound good. We got draft capital. We can do this but at this point right now, you're not playing for the future. You're playing right now. You got a window of what? 3 more? Well, with you order this season, you have 2 more years after that he can be up for a new contract. So you got to get some pieces in here. So because basically this kid had a wasted rookie year. That was a wasted year.
It was a wasted year. Yeah, it was definitely a wasted year. Let's see. T Small says Kobe Dean should be on their radar. Yeah, Nakobe Dean is a good player. Corner from Georgia. I like Nakobe Dean. Let's see. Yeah, the problem is you could probably say that Evan Neal isn't Trent Williams. He's not Trent Williams. I said that. Only way I take Evan Neal, number one, is if he is Jonathan Ogden, Orlando Pace, Baselli, Munoz. That's the only way I take him. And he's not projected to be that type of guy. So I'm not taking him number one. They said protect T-Law at all costs. We probably can get a giant sub from Jersey Mike's for Jawan Taylor. Yo, put Jakari in timeout. Put Jakari Johnson in timeout. He said we could get a giant sub from Jersey Mike's for Jawan Taylor.
Man, Jawan is gonna be a backup.
Yeah.
And if he don't want to move the guard, he may not see the field.
Man.
I mean, it's just that bad. Go look at his PFF score. It's the lowest on the.
Oh, it's horrible. Line. Yeah, it's horrible.
He was the most penalized lineman in the league. And I think the coaches favored him because he's played every snap since he's been here in Jacksonville. And they took that in consideration along with his coach Warhoff.
Yeah.
And I believe with this veteran coaching staff that we've been talking about today, that veteran coaching staff don't care about individual awards unless it's for the sake of the team and it's for all of the team. They don't care about some guy playing all the snaps but not producing. So, Jawan got to get better. Yeah, I mean, I say the same thing about basketball or whatever. If you ain't producing, you got to get better. You got to work on your game. You got to work on his game, man.
Yeah, he does. He does. He has to work on his game. Let's see. So next topic before we get into a little bit of NBA, we'll finish up football. And the only reason we keep her on the football is because, that's what she did. But Miss Michele Tafoya, I was not expecting this from her. I'm not shocked because I'm sure that a lot of them have views like this. I mean, just look at Rachel Nicholson and her no longer being at ESPN and what was said, when she didn't know she was being recorded, which, I didn't I got what she was saying. You know, you don't want that. That's why she never said stuff on camera, because it's things you probably shouldn't say. But I did get it. I understood. She was like, yeah, I'm all for equality, but yeah, not my job. That's basically what she said. I mean, that's anybody's going to say that. I'm for equality too, except when it comes to my job, I want to keep my job. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. But Michele Tafoya is this Yahoo Sports says Michele Tafoya finally free to speak her ugly truths. And this is pretty ugly. Let's see. He said just days after she tearfully left her lucrative, high-profile job as a sideline reporter Sunday Night Football, she appeared on right-wing media networks to show her true colors. There's a feelings of repugnance seeing Tafoya's recent comments contrasted with the fact that for years she was smiling in the faces of black coaches and players to mine them for nuggets of information to make sure she looked good in her job. But we'll set that aside for now. Man, he taking a jab at her early in this article. He said there's also a familiar feeling of disgust, as in some cases she is turning to lies at minimum a painfully thin understanding of American history to prop up her statements, saying Colin Kaepernick made business decisions in protesting the extrajudicial killings of black citizens by agents of the state. As she told one radio show, is flat out untrue. Kaepernick didn't sit and kneel with the aim of leaving his job. The NFL made a business decision by excising him from the league, listening to a loud minority of people, including the former president of the United States, who called Kaepernick the other sons of bees for daring to silently protest and completely ignored the black fans and others who understood his message, at minimum supported his method. Let's see. And says, if we're talking about business decision, let the record reflect that Kaepernick stood on his principles while he was still playing and had his career taken from him. Tafoya waited until she knew she was leaving NBC before she started spewing her venom, lest she face any backlash. Yeah, her timing was awesome on this. And so one of the things she said, she touched on November while she was on The View. Children are taught. Yeah, she says that her children are being taught that skin color matters. She cited affinity groups for children of similar backgrounds and a picnic for families of color at the school. In classic Karen style, she even apparently called the school to rail about the picnic, saying she was stepping up. She wasn't stepping up. She was just mad there was something other families were getting that hers didn't. Affinity groups exist everywhere, and they always have. White people just used to call it legal segregation. Said it breaks my heart that my kids are being taught that skin color matters. And this is that we can and think, I don't think there's much more after that. I think that's about it. It's a little bit more, but that's the comment I wanted to get to. She said it breaks my heart that my kids are being taught that skin color matters.
So what are they being taught? I mean, I don't understand what she's saying. So she's saying that her kids are being singled out, or she's saying that you know what? Because if you teach certain subjects and her kids feel offended, then that's our issue. I mean, I don't even understand what her issue is.
Yeah. She said, for exact opposite, fighting Jim Crow, hate crimes. What is he taking somewhat? Okay, all right. So there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing else. But yeah, I don't understand. With that, it's just like anybody. Anytime I hear anybody say that, like, "Oh, I don't see color," or "skin color doesn't matter," or I've heard some people say that, and it's like, "I don't see color." Well, that's problematic, especially if you are a person who is in a leadership role and you don't see color because you don't understand who you're leading. You have to see color because you have to understand that every individual is different and different things that they go through. I mean, darker skinned people are ostracized around the world. No matter what the culture is, darker skinned people are ostracized because it's linked to a class thing. Darker skin is like the field hands. People in the fields work in the sun, seen as less than because of their darker skin, because of the sun. That's what it is. But for you to say you don't see color, I mean, you don't see my struggle as a darker skinned person. You know, you don't see my struggle as a person of color. You don't see my struggle as a minority in this country. And it's tone deaf, to say the least.
Well, I strongly believe that I don't believe that we should not educate children on the truth that occurred in the world,
Yeah.
because this world would not be at the point where it's at, and we still have problems. But believe me, we couldn't live in the world of 1865,
Mm-hmm.
and as me and you, we wouldn't even be able to do what we're doing in
Yeah.
that world back then. And for us not to educate children or have a problem with kids knowing, you don't have to educate a child and say, you don't judge it, but you have to tell the history of what happened. There's a way to educate where you don't input your opinion on it. We all know we all know what's right and wrong. You believe me, a kid
Yeah.
in high school knows slavery was wrong. Your teacher
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to say it. You just put the facts on the table. But for us not to educate the kids that the United States was built on slavery.
Yeah.
It was, it's cities,
Call
New
it. Yeah.
York, all these cities on the East Coast, they were built on the backs of slaves.
Yep.
And it was, you look at the South history, why do you think it was a civil war? The Civil War happened because the South highest revenue was cotton, and they didn't want that cotton trade to be, in. And
Yeah.
it ended because slavery was going to be abolished, and they fought for it. So we got to get out of the, I mean, the history is what it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
black eyes on all racial lines. Every racial, it doesn't matter about racial. We all got to share a history. Everybody's history is not all favorable. Believe me.
Right.
And we
Right.
getting in this thing where history is like making a child feel uncomfortable. I mean, just what it takes for black children being uncomfortable and knowing that their ancestors were put in a slave boat and sent over somewhere where they never been before.
Yeah.
It's not favorable for no side, but you
Yeah.
have to teach it so we can they have to understand. You can't have a generation of children who don't know the history of how America was, I mean, it goes beyond America. It goes to South America. It goes to, I mean, why do you think people in Brazil speak Portuguese? And they
Yeah.
don't speak Spanish. They speak Spanish everywhere in South America, but they speak Portuguese in Brazil, in Argentina. The reason is the
Yeah.
slaves. They had the sugar cane, the plantation.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a world now where everybody get offended.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in order for us to educate ourselves and educate our children, that's not the way education should be, in my
Right.
opinion.
True. And this is the other side to this too. This is the other angle. Besides what we're talking about, is that this is great publicity for her new career.
Yeah. Well, she go on Fox, and
Mm-hmm.
she probably go. I heard she was on Fox, and
Yeah.
I can't think of the guy. I mean, this guy got 1 million views each night he come on television. I can't think of his name, but when you go on and you speaking to the conservatives,
You're not talking about Tucker Carlson, are you?
yeah, that's who I'm talking about. She was on
Talking
his
Tucker
show.
Carlson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was on his show this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And when you speaking to that, she knows what audience she's speaking to just by going on Fox News channel in the first place.
Yep.
And everybody has their own right to pursue what their dreams are. But
Right.
I don't know, man. That's just my thoughts. I don't know. I like to know, like, what is she gonna, what is her, what is she gonna accomplish? What is she trying to do? What is she trying to change for the betterment of her children? Those are things I would like to know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And basically, it sounds like she wants to protect them from history, and you can't do that.
well, you
The
can't.
history is the history.
Right. Well, they're going to learn it one way or the other. I mean,
Yeah,
you go to college. You think in college you go to okay. You graduated with 3.0 in high school. And you go to college and you've been sheltered from the history of the world throughout high school. You think you're going to be sheltered in college?
right. And
And
this the
how it's
thing,
going to make you a better person if you don't know what the history of this of not just America but the world. The world had slavery.
right,
You
right.
know.
And if you don't teach them, and somebody's going to teach them, they're going to find it out. If you don't inform them, somebody else will. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing with this. You can't just hide this. It's not going away. Enes Kanter is doing the same thing. You see, he's leaving the NBA basically, and he's basically started a career in politics. So,
Mm-hmm.
and he's taking one last shot at Nike and LeBron and all of that on his way out. But I said that when he initially started this started talking that noise, talking about LeBron and making headlines, he started getting invited on CNN and stuff. I said, oh, he's setting up his post career. I said, it's obvious. It's obvious what they're doing. Just be controversial. That's all. Be
Well, that's what the
controversial.
whole world. We just had a president. That's all he did. He just whatever you thought he should have said, he said the opposite. But it
Yeah,
don't make it right.
yeah,
Then eventually people going to tune you out anyway. I just
yeah,
think everybody should just stand for right, man. I mean, I know it's hard and it's boring and it's just I think we create controversy just for the sake of controversy, and it don't you know what's the long term impact? Nothing, because if it don't make sense, it you gonna move on from it.
yeah,
You got to make things to change the world, not make things to shine yourself into the light, and then like, well, what have you done?
mm-hmm.
That's almost like Trump. I mean, what did Trump do? You
Yeah,
look back on his career as a president. I mean, what did he accomplish other than being he don't like this, he did this, so they're against me with this. I mean, but really, what did he change? He got
yeah,
he got a Supreme Court with a bunch of conservatives. You can give him that credit, but I mean, what did he do to change the world? And
yeah,
when you look on people, why do you think people still talking about Lincoln? Why do you think people still talking about George Washington and Lyndon Johnson and those presidents?
yeah,
Because they had more of an impact. What they did in office in 8 years is still impacting the country. So that makes them, they're going to be always in the conscience of America. But
yeah.
when a guy just blowing up and mad at this and,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not changing the world.
Saying stuff here.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not changing the world by being just an oddball. I mean, whatever you
yeah.
want to call it, you're not
Yeah,
changing the
people,
world.
you can make a career out of it though. You ain't gonna change the world, but obviously you can make a career and get popular and get some clicks and views
Yeah,
because yeah. So yeah, Enes Kanter's doing the same thing. Michele Tafoya is doing the same thing. So I'm not surprised by any of this stuff.
a lot of this
This
stuff is motivated by money.
That's it. Yeah,
A lot of things is the more popular you are, the more you can make yourself earn. Your earnings can go up. I mean, a lot of that's what is motivated by. You can go take
yeah,
speeches and get on CNN, and then
yeah.
you write a book or something, but your name is out in public consumption, and all that is me, 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 me. But that's not changing the world.
Yeah, that's why the art is lost in whatever, no matter what industry you're going into, the art of it is lost
Mm-hmm.
because the barrier to entry is minimal now. Like
Yeah.
they take music for example. I was telling mom this other day. I say the barrier for entry is significantly less than it was back in the day. So think about this. Back in the day, let's say this is the 60s and the
Mm-hmm.
70s. You got to get a bunch of guys together that know how to play instruments, get them all in one place, practice, find people who can write music, get find a studio, recording equipment, then set up tours, go place to place, do shows, get your popularity up, sign with a label. I mean, it was things you had to do in order to get in. Now it's as simple as this, Mr. Reid. You could buy some equipment off Amazon and go in your bathroom and mumble over a beat and get a hit now.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is today.
You can just go on you make something to put on YouTube. But that's the thing that you say, man, is just so true because you look at those artists, everything you said, back in the 70s and the 60s. I mean, you had to have a manager also. So you had to have,
Yep.
basically you had to split the money between six people or more to even get to the point of recording a record.
Yeah.
So you had to pay a price. But the thing is, back then, if you look at it back then and look at it now, you put a hell of a lot more effort in your product,
Yeah.
because that album had to sell for you guys to make a girl had to make money.
Yeah.
So the music, like you say, the live, I mean, you had to have, man, you had to have horns, you had to have the drums, you had to have the guitars, man, you had to play live. I mean, you had to have all the music instruments. Everything was real music. You didn't
Yeah.
have automated where you can go put something on your computer and create music and all this kind of stuff. So even an album took back then, it would take like 16 months just to produce it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you had to go around the world to make money because even if you had the album, you weren't going to make the money overseas in Europe unless you had to have the concerts over there. And now, as you say, you can put together, I say you can put together something in a week.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
Put it on YouTube, get the hits on YouTube, and it becomes a hit.
They go springboard you. Yeah. Yeah. Shoot, you look at Michele Tafoya and Enos Cantor right now. I mean, back in the day, in order to go into the industry they're going to, because they just want to talk politics and talk about their conservative or liberal views or whatever views they have. Back in the day, you had to, in order to get into that game, you had to tour. You had to go to speaking engagements. You had to get a name for yourself. You had to do all kind of events and stuff in order to build up a reputation for you to even get any clout in that kind of arena. But now all he did was, LeBron James, Nike this, NBA this. Oh, hey, we want to give you a job. Michele Tafoya, skin color and the representation, and I hate that it matters. Really, Miss Tafoya, we going to give you a job too. It's that easy now.
Yeah, it is, man. It's just, that's the world we live in, man. We want instant gratitude. We want instant success. We want instant money. We don't want to work hard for it. We just want to. We just want to. We want to go from 0 to 10, and we want to do it within a month.
Yeah.
And here's the vehicles. Everybody got a platform, and to be different is to be successful. And Lord knows, man, believe me, for a kid that grew up in the 70s, Lord have mercy, man. Sometimes you just have to shake your head. Sometimes I hear some of this music, and I know if there's young folks out there, it might appeal to you, but man, even the rappers back in the 80s, boy, they at least they had lyrics.
Yeah, now mumble rap is a real thing now. They just like that's a song.
Yeah, people say what they want, but the Sugar Hill Gang, man, you knew what they were saying.
Right. Straight mumbling is a top 10 song on the billboards.
Yeah. I mean, that's where we going to, man. It's got to be quick money made, and that's what the music is.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful they got Spotify, man, because I can go back to my 80s and I can listen to the old, the real music or whatever, even the new music. I listen to some of the new stuff, but at least
some of it.
Yeah, some of it. But at least I got something that if I want to go back 20 years, man, I ain't gotta go to a library and go find Al Green's album or something. I can listen to it on, and I'm not promoting Spotify, but at least you got something that you can go back to the old tunes.
Yeah,
you ain't getting it on the radio.
No, you're not. You're not. So Jakari say them basketball players jamming Nichols up. She got a little too comfortable. Yeah, she did. She thought she were invited to the cookout, so she got a little too comfortable. Let's see. Should DeMar DeRozan be an MVP candidate? He's not, because he's not a megastar like Giannis or Steph. Oh, no question. No, I seen his 6 game. That 6 game stretch is ridiculous that he had. So
But I
him and
like the
Levine
Bulls.
balling
I
out of
like the
control.
Bulls coming back though.
Yeah.
They kind of fell flat a little toward the late in toward the All-Star break, but it's good they back, man. They're
Yeah,
playoff
it is.
team.
Yeah, it is.
But he shouldn't be
Hey,
the MVP though. I don't think he's done enough to be MVP.
okay. I think Joel Embiid though is making a great case for MVP
I
right
think
now.
he has a strong case. I mean, I
Yeah,
hope he got 23 games left the season end.
yeah,
He got to continue that, man. But I tell you, I mean, I think there's been one good stretch of NBA basketball this season. The parity is great. Any night, a team. Man, I watched Denver. Looked like the Denver had no way in the world they were gonna beat Golden State. And a guy made a last
yeah,
second shot and beat Golden State at Golden State, man.
yeah.
So I like the parity. There are some bad teams though.
Yeah, there are some bad teams. We're not gonna talk about the one that's right up the road.
No, we ain't gonna talk about the Magic. They the worst, but man, them Rockets, boy.
The
I don't
Rockets are
know.
bad too. The Rockets are bad. The Rockets. At least Oklahoma City is young too, but they have some excitement in Oklahoma City, man. You got
Yeah,
the kid,
yeah,
Giddy. You got some
yeah,
young guys in Oklahoma City, so it's a little different field there. It doesn't feel like the Rockets and the Magic.
yeah. The Magic just look like. Every time I flip the channel, the Magic, man, it's like 73-52. They done went on a 24-2 run or something, and they down by 20 in the first half.
Yeah,
I just hope they get it together, man, since it's the closest NBA team to us. But boy, I tell you what, there's a difference between the Heat and the Magic.
yes, it is.
Sacramento is another one, man. Man. Sometimes I watch
Uh,
Sacramento and I just say, man, what are they doing? They go straight down the court and they try to take a jump shot over six people in the lane. I say, what is he doing? What are they
yeah,
doing? They done made
yeah,
trades. They done traded Buddy Hield, and they done started again about six times in the last 7 years.
yeah. See, Josh Stewart say Anthony Davis is now the NBA's albino tiger.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's out again. He's
yeah.
out again. Mid-foot sprain, 4 weeks. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've seen some people saying it might be time to move on from him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to move on. But I mean, it is what it is. The Lakers are done though. I mean, you wasn't able to move Russell. It's a wrap. I don't see them making a significant run. But it is what it is. But this was one of the last stories before we get out of here. Is you mentioned him last week, Mr. Reid, which is crazy that you mentioned him. And a couple days after you mentioned him, he gets reinstated by the NBA, Mr. Tyreke Evans.
Well,
Congratulations to Mr.
They
Evans.
must have heard my man. I tell you what, man. I thought Tyreke Evans had so much talent, man.
He did,
Especially
yeah.
when he was with Sacramento, and just
Yeah.
to see this thing when he got banned. I mean, he got to be about 32 years old, I believe, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
So
he's 32.
So he's lost. I think that suspension was 219. So he done lost 2 years. And even before he got suspended, he was on the downswing. He had been injured so much,
Yeah.
But good to see him back, man. But I really, he comes from a tough place outside of Philly, man. He's from Chester, Pennsylvania.
Introducing the most rugged Honda vehicle.
I just think he's a perfect example. And I know him because I covered him with the Pelicans, but I think he's a perfect example of a guy in a family. I'm talking about a family with his brothers and sisters and mom, and he's the poster child of a guy who makes it, and everybody in the family have their hand out. That's basically and he tried to provide for all of them. I know his brother had a clothing business, and man, I know that I think when he was with New Orleans, he probably bought 9 houses to family members. cars and things like that. And it happens, man. I think he's the example.
It does.
When a guy grew up in the inner city and, had all the potential in the world growing up, middle school star, high school star. And when you know that, it don't take hard notice to know that the kid gonna be something special, a special talent. And he turned out to be a special talent. And it's just like, man, I still say to this day, it's been hard for him since he even took his first shot in the NBA to fully concentrate on the NBA because of so much outside distraction that he had throughout his career. And it doesn't make up for whatever he did. They never said what the substance was, but it was banned, but it just, a lot of times, he's an example, man, that a lot of time when we look at the draft and we see this kid getting drafted in the first round and we see, the family and everybody happy and excited and man, there's another story behind the story. It's just like, you don't, some guys they cut it off, but this guy felt that he owes his family, And I just think pressure got to him. He got this done, trying to do this, and this person, this uncle coming to ask for this or this. They just, I used to see Tyreke after games on the phone. I'm not supposed to overhear his conversation, but I can hear what the conversation is.
Yeah,
and it's just like, man, I just hope the kid get another shot, man. I say this. I think that if he learned a lesson, I believe he's the guy that learned his lesson. He just wanted to come back, play ball, and earn what he can before he can't play anymore. And he was a super talent during his prime, and he was an interesting guy. That's all I can say. I wish him well and hope he get back in the league.
Yeah, immensely talented. Says after a 2-year ban for violating the NBA National Basketball Players Association anti-drug program, guard Tyreke Evans has been reinstated to play in the league. Evans, 32, is eligible to begin negotiating with teams immediately and can sign a contract as soon as Friday, noon Eastern. So today, the league announced on Monday. He said Evans is considered to be in good physical condition and is expected to start making himself available to work out for teams. Said he has averaged 15.7 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 4.6 assists in 594 career games. That lets you know the talent right there. He averaged 15, 5, and 5, basically. Evans is the first player to be suspended and reinstated since Chris Bertman-Anderson reinstatement in 2008. NBA drug policy calls for players dismissal for 2 years to be test positive for what's considered a drug of abuse. Evans was the 2010 NBA Rookie of the Year with the Kings, and he had stops with New Orleans, Kings, Grizzlies, and Pacers. He was the 4th overall pick out of Memphis in the 2009 NBA draft. So, yeah, I just well wishes to the young man. I hope, which I say young man, he's the same age as me. I just hope that he can take this opportunity and basically make a comeback out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And you get something that many people don't get. He's gotten a second chance.
Yeah.
Many people don't get that. And so the fact that he's able to get a second chance, he has to make the best out of this opportunity. I hope he cut and this is the other thing. I hope he cut the dead weight.
Yeah.
Not enough is talked about because you talk about friends and relationships with partners and stuff like that. They don't talk enough about you cutting off family and it needing to be a thing that you really need to do. If you never heard the story of Tyron Smith, anybody watching this, Tyron Smith and what he went through with his family. I don't know if you heard about that, Mr. Reid, but he got restraining orders on like his mom and his sisters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they act entitled to his money, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Philip Buchanan's mom sent him a bill for $1 million, and she said it was for raising him.
Man, I tell you what, boy, but it happens, man. It happens, man. Guys don't understand, man. That's it. I think Dawkins I think his wife told him that, man, You can't go back on the north side and hang with the boys that you hung out with when you went to Reigns. It's a whole totally different situation. You can't do it. You can't. You just, as bad as you want to, just the circumstances. You worth $15 million. If something happened, who they gonna? You the one they gonna target.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're gonna end up being like Chris Rock. No, not Chris Rock, but Eddie Murphy. He talking about when he got in the fight in the club and everybody sued him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything happened, he said, "Well, who are you with?" I was with Dawson. It's just. It is what it is, man. I tell you what, people don't understand, man. Being a star, being a movie star, being whatever star comes with a price.
Yes, it does.
A lot of people say, well, why does Halle Berry always get, man, you don't hear about her no more. She just like a recluse in her own house in LA. I mean, yeah, she got a reason.
Yeah. Yeah,
that might be the best way. You stay out of trouble. You raise your kids and do your thing, and you don't have to be in the spotlight. She don't want to be in the spotlight.
Right. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up what see what he sent me. Okay, here we go. Okay, college football playoff to remain 4 teams until 12-year contract expires after 2025 season. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So after the 2025 season, they are going to be looking to expand it. Watch. And I don't know. I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, that's just the easy way out. College football got to get out of the money. There's too money oriented. I know money makes the world and all that, but man, they base too many decisions based on corporate, based on money, based on revenue, and they don't make many decisions based on, well, what's the right decision? What do it need to be to improve the playoff selection, get more teams in the playoff, change it right now. Don't wait. Don't let ESPN or whoever sponsor or whatever telling you to dictate what should be done and wait until a contract. So when the contract is up, then you obviously going to negotiate a bigger deal. But man, just, I like to see them become what they supposed to be and just do things in the nature of making their sport better, include more teams, draw more interest for the fans, for the college fans who paid money to go see these teams play. All that debate, about, I think you should include 8 teams, to be honest. It was proven in Cincinnati probably wasn't at that level.
Yeah, and that's the angle I was going to come at is this isn't an NCAA tournament. This isn't March Madness where you could get a Florida Gulf Coast can go on the run to the finals. Like, you don't have that. Like, there's no team that was outside of the top 4 in college football that could have beat any of the 4 in there, except maybe Cincinnati. And that's debatable too, because Cincinnati went up against Bama. They probably could have beat anybody else. Yeah. You don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. 8 teams. If you're gonna do it, 8 teams is got to be the max. I don't think you can go no more because at 18, once you get past the top 6, it's gonna be watered down. Watered down completely.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see. And this, like you say, it's about money. This is all. It's all about money.
It's about money. Trying to appease their corporate sponsors and. Taking the easy way out to 25, increase the debate, which will put more interest in the game.
Yeah.
But man, you gotta, it shouldn't take 3 more years to decide that this is where it's going to be. And if you already done made a determination that that's the direction you're going, then don't wait 3 years to do it. Just get it done, and then you have time to work out the kinks and.
Yeah.
You can't, another thing, I think right now what they're saying right now is, well, we'll just wait until the SEC add Texas and Oklahoma and whoever else moving into these super conferences. Let's get all that squared away first. Let the Big 12 decide on who they're going to add, or if they're going to still be a conference and all that stuff, man. It's just so much politics in college athletics. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So I think that was it. I had one last thing before we get out of here. Just something I had saw. Everybody was talking about it. It was pretty funny to me. Talking about LeBron James. Josh had one. He said it's a shame Jonathan Isaacs hasn't been able to help the Magic. Josh, don't get him going, Josh. Please don't get him going.
Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably hollered from Orlando, rescue me, get me out of this place, man. Man, it's hard to be a good player in Orlando, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, he's still a good player. I remember at Florida State, but man, it's hard, boy. I'm telling you, boy, it's hard. I can't sit on my TV and watch the Magic for 5 minutes. Either done turn the ball over, or the guy done run up and down. I done seen big men run the floor coast to coast and dunk it on the Magic.
Yeah.
And I
can barely dribble. He going coast to coast.
And the guy dunked it on Jonathan Isaac. So yeah, he picked up the ball.
It's your fault, Josh Stewart. I just want you to know that.
Oh man, the Magic garbage, man. They got that beautiful arena. They got a beautiful city. And what they got? 10 wins.
Yeah. 10 wins. 10 wins.
Man, I thought I was coming back to Jacksonville. I could take a nice weekend trip to Orlando to go see some pro hoops, man. And I said, man, I ain't wasting my money to go see the Magic, man.
Yeah.
I watch them on TV till they get good.
Yeah. Josh Stewart say expanded playoffs will help cut back on bowl opt-outs. That's one of the positives. It would help cut back on bowl opt-outs as they get more money for the playoffs. But how are other conferences going to feel when the SEC or the ACC or the Big Ten put majority of their teams into the playoff? So when 4 or 5 of the teams are SEC or ACC or Big Ten teams, then what? All that money goes to that conference. The other conference is going to have an issue with that. They're like, well, we got to figure a way to get some parity and shake it up.
This another proposal for I like to have. I like to see the Gator Bowl get money from somewhere and become a bigger bowl, so we won't have to see Rutgers and Wake Forest and
I would like to see a major bowl here. A major bowl here would be very good, especially since we ain't got the ACC game no more, the ACC championship game anymore. Give us a bigger bowl. Yeah.
Oh, ACC championship game used to be here?
Yeah, it used to be here because it's in North Carolina now. But before it was in North Carolina, it was played here in Jacksonville at the stadium.
Oh, well, that's excellent, man.
Yeah. So give us something back like that. We lost that. We not getting nothing to replace it.
But the Gator Bowl should be on the same level as the Outback and the Citrus. I mean, I think that
at least.
We got corporate sponsors in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
At least, where we might see the second place SEC team go up against the second place Big Ten or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So
I'm just saying that's where Woody Hayes lost his job at. So it's got a lot of history.
Yes, it does. All right, so I want to show y'all this video. So this video is of Mr. LeBron James. Looks like a night out. I don't know. Look like they've been clubbing. I forgot whatever. This somewhere like an event probably for the Super Bowl, and I'm not sure exactly where they were. But if you watch out, it's very, very quickly. You'll see LeBron run out, and you'll see these ladies run behind him. And watch what LeBron does when these ladies recognize him. And watch, they walk right past Anthony Davis. They don't even pay him no attention. They go straight for LeBron. Watch this.
This club is where we going, bro.
Look, there they go behind him. He went down the escalator.
Right.
One more time. That's Anthony Davis. They walk right by him.
Strip club is where we going, bro.
Coming behind LeBron.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
And
they don't
LeBron
even
like,
notice.
Hey, LeBron say, I'm a married man. I got to get out of here. People brought up the fact that, hey, he could have possibly injured himself going down the upward escalator. But I promise you, it's better that he went ahead and got up out of Dodge than have to explain that later on.
Yeah, AD was just a bystander.
Dude, they saw him and they were like, "Oh, that's AD." Well, but there's LeBron. Yeah, and LeBron got up out of Dodge, man. That's what I'm talking about. Protect your peace, King. Protect your peace.
Hey, that's the King, man. King he made the right move, man.
Yeah, get on up out of there. You already got you something solid. Stay up out of there. Leave them straggles alone.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit with that bill.
Hey, and that's $1 billion divorce right there, because he's gonna be a billionaire before it's all over.
Yeah, hey, like I say, you don't want to get hit with that bill.
No, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not, man.
Bravo, LeBron. Bravo, yeah. LeBron.
For sure, man. Man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. All my social media down here at the bottom. All my audio listeners on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all of that. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Gonna be doing more straight audio shows. Man, matter of fact, me and you, we're gonna do one of those. We just do audio and put audio out, and we don't have to do the video. So definitely,
man, we're gonna have to do a politics one. I want to talk some politics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cause I just changed my channel, so on my all my audio platforms, it's no longer the true definition of a sports fanatic. It's just me, and every topic in between, from sports, politics, religion, media, whatever, music, whatever it is, we're gonna talk about it on that channel. So stay tuned. We got some good things coming for that. Let's see. Josh Stewart said Duval. Hey, let's hopefully we get a few Duvals in the future. Hopefully we get a few of those Duvals in the future. Hopefully the future's bright. I like the coaching staff, like you said. I think we're headed, in a positive direction. But I will not get excited. I got this shirt on today, as you see, but I will not get excited today. Will not get excited about this.
Man, you ain't had that on since the off season last year, huh?
Yeah. So
3-14 Jaguars.
Right. 3-14. Right. So
but that's last season. So we on the news. I like the coaching staff. They're moving in the right direction, fellas.
Yeah, for sure. So any parting words you had before we get out of here?
No, man. I'm just, you got the Jaguars shirt back on. They about to start up with all their draft evaluations. There's optimism in the air, and I think that Peterson will be a good. I think he's moving them in the right direction. But plenty months ahead, and we got a long wait till the season. But I was impressed with the press conference today, man. I like Mike Caldwell. I think he's gonna be good as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I like what I've heard from him so far. So, man, we'll see how it turns out. We will be back next week. We always have topics, so the off season's coming up, drafts coming up, combines coming up. So it's gonna be plenty to talk about. All-Star weekend, of course. So we'll have more coming your way. Make sure y'all follow Mr. Reid on Twitter. What tweet you put out? Yeah, that tweet went. You got some traction on that tweet. I looked up. You had 1,000 retweets and likes on one of the tweets you put out. I don't know. Was it the Byron Leftwich tweet where you said that he made a mistake by saying he didn't want to work with Balky? I saw that one got a lot.
Yeah.
And then you got another one.
I was around there here in my Tweety Bird when I went to the Senior Bowl, and that one got a lot. And I might put out one. You can't change history. See how many that get. Can't change history. No matter how. History. You can't change history.
Right. For sure. So, yeah. But, man, I appreciate y'all, man. But we are out of here. Peace out, y'all.